Gather round, wonders of the web. The apothecary is open. Step into the shadows where the candles glow. Plague Doctor Mask and the many others you know. Bugs in the cases.
Yes, I am first. You all shall bow before my greatness.
Scary games brewing. Come lose yourself. Welcome to OblivyOnyx, the gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. Channel points ready, dare you redeem. Summon a scream in the heart of the stream. Mom of the macabre, host of the night, guiding the chat through shadows and fright. Welcome to OblivyOnyx, the gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. The apothecary's open. Stay
Well, goddamn!
OblivyOnyx streaming deep into the night. Gather round, wonders of the web. The apothecary is open.
I love you. Have a wonderful evening.
Chat, I love you. Have a wonderful
Step into the
evening.
shadows.
Hi,
Where
guys.
the candles glow.
Hello.
Plague Doctor
Hello,
Mask
everybody.
and the many
Sorry I'm
others
running so
you
late
know.
tonight. My little crotch goblins are
Bugs in the
being hellions.
cases.
Hello there.
Bones
They are
on the
being
shelf.
hellions. Give me a second and I will
Scary
turn the
games
cam on.
brewing.
Throw a brick.
Come lose yourself.
Throw a brick at me.
Century, turn on your camera
Welcome
right
to
now,
Never.
or else turn it on.
OblivyOnyx,
Turn on your camera.
gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous.
Guys, can you hear me? Can you? Oh, that's Welcome Raiders scene. Hold on.
Goth Queen, let's go beach.
I meant to pick the other one. Whoopsies. Hello. Let me tighten this. Hi, everybody. Look, guys, I put my clock. I put my clock in the stream room. Oh my god, I absolutely despise this boom arm I have for my mic. I need something new. I need to find something new that doesn't suck. Let's play some music. Oh my god, Ghost! I'm wearing a Ghost shirt right now. Hi, Lift! Thank you for the shout outs. Thank you for posting the Discord. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I want to make sure everybody got shout outs. Okay, Jessie. Mimi Supreme Grandmama Onyx. Hi, Beef. Hi, Soul. Hi, Jessie. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mama Onyx. Hi, Jojo. Hi, Left. Did you say Opium Onyx? That's why you don't get a hi. Because you said Opium Onyx. Are you for real? Oh, I love this song. Guys, my eyeliner tonight is so sharp, it could cut a bitch. It's so sharp. Jesus, it's like... Could you see it on camera? It's like out there. Need you to stay? Need you to stay? Pick up a wasted still. No, no shouties for me. Yes, yes, shouties for you. Hi, Left. How are you? This freaking boom arm pisses me off so bad. Every time I push it down, it just pops back up. Watch. Like, why? Why are you doing this? What is the point of this? Hi, Orchid! I need you to stay. Need you to stay. Oh my god. Come on. Please. Please stop. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, everybody's here. Oh, my besties are here. No. No, not the ad break. Please. No, not the Apex player. Oh, oh, oh. My god, the ads. I'll be fucked up if you can't be right here. I need you to stay. No. No, not the ads. Nobody else is good as you. I need you to stay. I need you to stay. We're waiting for everybody to come back before we start the game. When are the ads gonna be over? I use the pop-up player so I can still hear my beautiful queen. Oh my god. Gotta make sure this isn't too loud. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, I want to make sure that's not going too loud. Are we still in an ad, perchance? I'm living in a cave in the woods. Because it's the new thing everyone has to adjust to. I don't hate you, Soul! What do you mean? I've been talking to you. Are you in an ad? Nice projecting. Fight! 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 I don't know if the ad is over yet or not. I can't find what it says. Hold. No! All right. I am not. Why is everybody saying I'm ignoring them? I am going to the voice chat. My chatters, you guys are so needy. You're so needy. You're so. Do you want a hug? Do you guys want a hug? Do you need me to tuck you in? Is that what we need today? You guys are very needy. There is the chat box. Yay. And then let me fix this off. Properties. And we need to do listen. Where's 7 deadly sins? Hold on. What? Oh, there it is. Gotta rename it. There we go. 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 Play the game, woman.
Yeah, you're fucking muted.
Twiz, you're late. Did you see my going live notif, Twiz? Did you at least see that? You didn't? Darn. I guess you'll just have to see it tomorrow night. Hee hee hee. Hee hee. Hee. Soul, we love you. Are you actually leaving? Oh my god. My ears are done for. Oh my god! Weesta! Hello! I need to turn this down. Holy. Ah, this was not like this the last time I played. I think that's okay, right? Right, chat? Is that good? Is it too loud? Is it too loud? Hi, Elise. How are you? Yeah, I gotta do laundry and shit. Okay, have fun doing laundry and shit. Have a good lurk. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for being here. My mic is pissing me off. I got a Dr. Pepper. I haven't eaten my dinner from McDonald's yet. Always have to have a Dr. Pepper. Don't call me Ooh, a soul? Don't cross that line with me. You fucking baiter. Jesus, don't do that to me. Someone on TikTok, get this. I posted a TikTok and somebody called me Unket. Thank you for the lurk, Orchid. Have fun playing Faz. If you have 2 free spots in Faz, I know me and JoJo would be down for it. Because we're playing 7 Deadly Sins, but I'd be down for Faz. I'd be so down for Faz if Orchid has 2 spots. She's small dick. Don't fucking call me Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Twiz and Soul. Corner. Now. I'm gonna see if who she's playing Faz with, because I would fucking love to I love 7 Deadly Sins, but playing Faz with Orchid and JoJo would be so fun, and probably Chaos. Let me see. Where is that beautiful woman? Is she live? Is she live? Is she live right now? before we play frag. What's wrong with Unk? It's a good thing. People
You've
are
been a
using
very
it.
naughty little brat. Go to the corner and think about what
Yeah.
you've done.
People are
Pathetic.
using it to call women old, especially women streamers. I'm not old. Orchid, 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 don't leave. Don't leave. Are you there, Orchid? Are you live? Oh my god, that scared me. On the inside, I flinched so hard. On the outside, I was like stone though. That's not what it means. I've been seeing people call on like Twitter and stuff, calling female streamers like unket to make fun of them for their age. Oh my god, my mic stand is making me so mad today. Onyx, ignore my chat. This is why I don't come here. I did not ignore your chat. I was talking to you that whole time. I said, oh my god, hi soul. Multiple times, actually. It means cool uncle, so I'm a cool uncle to you. Okay, I guess I'll take it. I'll take unk, like, depending on which person it comes from, as a compliment or an insult. I'm just gonna do it like that. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, she's not live, so I don't know. I'm gonna be creepy and I'm gonna go stalk her. Hold on. Why? This mic is going to make me so mad. It just keeps getting higher and higher. Jesus. I am not the creepy uncle. I am the cool uncle. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine me as your uncle or your aunt? I'm the coolest ever. Then I'd be because I'm an uncle. Good night, soul. Do your chores. The supreme soul. The supreme soul. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna be a creep. I have the hiccups. I apologize. Oh no, you see my list of friends. Who's she playing Faz with? Who's she playing Faz with? Who you playing Faz with? Orchid? I don't know who she's playing Faz with. It says she's playing Faz with. I would love to play Faz. I want to learn more about it. Fun fact, Lucifer said he wanted Chessie to embarrass herself. She fell. She listened to the drunk uncle. I wish you would have got it on video. That way you could have sent him the video. Like, if you found a way to, like, send him a video or something. Or, like, tell him she did it. That would be funny. Actually, I am going to message Orchid. My baby Orchid. Okay. Okay, let's get to the game finally. We just have remnants of her self fumble. No. No, not the self fumble. God, I am extra ghostly today for some reason. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. Okay. Events. We gotta check everything. New players. Welcome. Welcome. Dope. We got all of them. Awesome. Nope. Nope. What's this? Okay. Sunlight mission. Crafting and the boss challenge. Okay. Come together. Total progress. I am when we spoke to my bio nephew and nieces for my friend's kid who offered me as uncle or Uncle Mike. I'm Uncle Wedgie to my Oh, that's cute. My name is Auntie Kiki. Auntie Kiki to my nieces and nephews. My babies. Oh, we can draw. Can we draw? Ooh, I have 10. We can draw. Draw 10. Give me something good. Come on, please. That is like the worst possible thing you could give me. I'm disappointed. I used all of it. Daisy. Aw, I should have drawn from each of them. What the fuck? Man! Who the fuck is Daisy? Who are you? I have so many notifications. What do I do? Notifications. Back. There's so much to do. Chat's moving, I see it. Uncle Wedgie is a great nickname. My kid's uncle, he used to be called Uncle Fupa, and then we changed it to Uncle Appa. Barcha is prepared to gift for their journey ahead. He has entrusted the gift to Julia near the West Gate. Along the way, stop by and say, what is the gift? A man named Esmo claims to know information about element stones. He says it'll be better to see for yourself. Go to the location indicated by Esmo. Following Ashu's instructions, Tristan caught a young giant bird. Now it can accompany the gang on the adventures. Tell Ashu. Oh, I have to go talk to Ashu again? It's so far away. Oh, I'm so far away. No. I don't want to. Can you close? Hello? I want to explore the castle area. My name is Wesley, so it's easier and more fun for the kids. Wes, I've always loved the name Wesley ever since I heard it in the later seasons of the Vampire Diaries. Silent T. Wesley. I love that name. Oh my god, I have so many I have to type. Gifts! Prezzies! Oh my god, it's Christmas morning. Holy crap. Oh, I'm getting treated so good. I'm being fed. I'm fed. I'm nourished. Thank you so much. Announcement. I don't care. What are the events again? I wanna... Most connect my name to the Princess Bride. I have never fully seen the Princess Bride. Actually. I don't know if that's gonna shock anybody, but... I thought of Wesley Snipes too. I thought of Blade. Inconceivable. Complete main quest. Have I not completed this quest yet? Okay. Oh. Whoopsies, sorry guys. I was checking my Discord because my poor kid answered. Where do we want to go? Oh my god, the mouse? I can't adjust. No, 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 no. Is there... Is there like a sensitivity? I guess not. Oh. Should that be better? I'm super white. I used to joke and say I'm not that black. People call me Wesley Snipes. I'm super white. Oh no. I love the Blade movies. Which Blade movie is your favorite? Quick. 1, 2, or 3? Which one? And why is it the third one? Oh, number 1 is your favorite. Beef. Yes. The third one's my favorite too. Dracula is sick. So fucking sick. Okay, where's the castle? It's the gate. Love Bloodbrave. It was the blood, yeah. Hannibal, yeah. Hello? Am I allowed in here? Wow. Can I go in these? Can he step on me if I let him? Aw. Oh my god, my ear itches. I can't. No! No, I think my favorite... I love the storyline of all 3 of the movies. I don't know if I have a favorite storyline though, because they were all so good. Like, the second one and the third one are in neck and neck for my favorite movie. What is happening over here? Hey there, the guard told me you might need some help. What's the matter? I really need to get inside the castle. Is it echoing for you guys? Is that the game or is that me? Now I'm paranoid. I have something to ask my mom and my sister. I need proper clearance to enter the castle. It's not a place you can go in and out of freely. You're the prince, aren't you? Can't you just give me permission to enter? Well, I don't know if that's such a good idea. Wah!
Yeah, you're fucking muted.
No, I'm not. You don't hear an echo? Okay, okay. Okay, I think it's just the game then. I wanted to make sure. I don't want an echo to happen like the last time. Wait, don't cry. I swear to God, I heard an echo. Are your mom and sister inside the castle? What do you need to ask them? Dolly's gone missing. I'm sure my mom and sister know where she is. If I don't get Dolly back... okay, I'll go ask them for you. Where does your sister work? My sister's a maid in the castle. I don't know where, though. Aw, man. Then what's her name? Yuna. My sister's name is Yuna. It sounds like tuna, and I don't like that. No, I love tuna. But I don't like somebody being named Tuna. I'd be upset if I met somebody named Tuna. Dolly has gone missing. I'll ask her. Wait here and don't cry, okay? Woo! Here? Oh. There's no in-game voice chat, is there? I can't remember if there is. No. No, there is not. Perfect. Oh my god, this game is a masterpiece. Respectfully, fuck that kid. Fuck who kid? Oh, the little crybaby? Oh my god, load in. Chill out. Is there any dropped frames for you guys? Any skipping? Am I supposed to go over there? I don't want to. I'm gonna go in the dark, creepy tunnel. The crybaby fucking. He needs to chill out. Children are dramatic. Not enough stamina. Hi! Okay. Fuck off, then. Can I rob? No, she's Molly. I'm supposed to talk to Dolly. Before the food. I'm just gonna pick up quests while we're running around. This is bad. It's a catastrophe. Has he tried looking for his doll? Probably not. I thought he was about to sock him in the head. Also, guys, I was gonna ask you, do you want to do like a demo night soon with games? And then also, I really want to do horror games because I really want to be scared. I miss playing horror. I haven't played like any horror lately, which is crazy. I'm going to have her head. The food's going to get cold if we don't get it out soon. Why isn't she here yet? Hold on, Mr. Gordon. Please calm down. I'll help you before the food gets cold. Where do you need me to take it? Thank you, Your Highness. You're giving a prince food to deliver? Take this roast turkey, throw it right in Elza's face, wherever she is. I don't like that name either. I bet she's hiding out somewhere slacking off. Go give her a swift kick in the butt and send her to the banquet hall. I'm not gonna kick her, but I'll take this to her right away. Do I got food now? Can I just eat it? Where are my quests? Tab? Oh, it's right here. Mission? I thought it was under mission. Quest. Oh, over here. Okay. Go there. Oh, get back this way.
Not expecting that. It seems like the comments reflect that's very nice. Most of the comments I see nowadays broke them off.
Jojo didn't deafen Discord so I can hear all the background noise in his house. That was his son talking in the TV. I can hear all the background noise in his house. But not him. Ooh! Aw. Okay, I guess let's go talk to her. Oh my god. Calm down. The freaking... The mouse sensitivity is actually insane. It's crazy. Oh, that's so much better. Hello, ma'am. Do your job. Lazy ass. What? What the fuck? She's treating me like a maid. Shouldn't you be working right now? Yeah. It's fine. I'm counting on you, Your Highness. You There's something wrong with you. Talk to Samuelson and Leona's castle. This way. This way. This castle is sick. Ah! I love this. Ooh. For me, you shouldn't have. Hell yeah, brother. What am I doing? The second floor? What's the second floor? Hey! Oh. Wait. Huh? Outside? I am confusion. Hello? Brother, please. As you I hope everybody had a good Monday. I'm not having the best Monday, but I'm actively putting in the effort to make it be a better Monday. You know what I mean? Oh. Oh my god. That looks delicious. Hey. Hello, you work at the banquet hall, right? I'm here to deliver some food. Oh, Your Highness, why you bring this here? We were expecting this, but we thought Elsa would be bringing it. What does a prince like you doing work like this? Miss Elsa is sleeping. Sleeping goodness. Alright. Hello?
What up?
Oh my god, you scared me. What are you doing?
Who?
You.
I'm about to play a game.
Well, yeah? Are you hopping on 7 Deadly Sins?
Yes.
Orchid. I think Orchid's playing with her friend in Chaos. So they don't have 2 spots, I don't think.
Are you saying you want to go play?
No, I'm playing 7 Deadly Sins.
You can.
No. No, that's what I'm telling you. If you wanted to, I could tell her if she ends up having
Jesus.
2 spots open to let me know.
Good
I
God.
would never ditch you. That hurts my feelings that you would think I'm that kind of person.
I know you're not.
I would never do that.
I need to see what's running in the background.
Yeah, you muted yourself. You didn't deafen. And I heard your son and your TV.
Oh. You hear me now?
No. It was when you first popped into the Discord. Jojo
I
turning into
thought muting
Jigsaw.
wouldn't. I thought that would make you not hear anything from my side.
No, you have to deafen. I could hear your son and your TV.
Yeah, I told him to turn it down.
Because I
I just
knew
got
there
on
that
push to
wasn't
talk
coming.
now.
It wasn't coming from anywhere on my side. Thank you, Your Highness. You have my sincerest gratitude. Awesome. What was this? Oh yeah. Start track.
Does the Steam client web helper have to be on for the game to be up?
I have no idea. Why would you ask me that question?
Okay, apparently it doesn't need that.
This castle is
Okay, it restarted itself. Apparently it needs it.
Oh, did you delete it?
No, I ended the task.
Oh. Luna. Prince of the Kingdom involved. They're asking a lot from the Prince of the entire kingdom. That's insane.
Oh, I need fucking RAM.
Ram. My mother's name is Molly. She should be in the kitchen taking breakfast. Oh, I was just there. Okay. Awesome. Alright. That's fine. Oh, I ran out of stamina. This game is insanely pretty, and I love it so much. Like, look. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I wonder if I can get this, if I can download this on my Switch. So I can play it off stream too. I need to have some games to play off stream. I am too caught up with not playing any games off stream ever because I always want to play it
We can
with
play
chat.
Frag.
I know. I need to do that. I'm really bad about like not playing any games off stream because I want to play it with chat. Like I barely...
Fuck chat.
I have so much fun streaming it though. I have so much fun with chat. So I actually legitimately feel bad when I play a game not on live stream. Near the dinner table where we always...
That's wild.
What?
You need to play some games off stream.
I know. Like, I start playing Zelda, like a Zelda game, and then I'm like, no, I want to play it on stream. Never have oh, okay. I didn't read any of this dialogue, but I'm guessing I did something good. I have to go back to the little boy now. Is that what I should do? Okay, follow the blue arrow, guys. Oh, wait. Wait, I think...
You should get the Game Pass for Frag.
I am so poor. I am poor. I'm
Say
so
no more.
Poor. No, don't do that. Don't ever.
You said do it on Friday?
No!
I will.
No! Jesus. What's wrong with you? What's this?
A lot.
This way. This game is so pretty. Oh, wrong way. Oh my god. This game is so pretty.
It won't let me change the priority of 7 Deadly Sins.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it won't let me either. You don't have permission?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it said to me too.
What the fuck?
I know, it wouldn't let me either. I tried to do that. Do it, Jojo. You should deliver us the moon. It's a really... You should deliver us the moon a try. It's a really chill game about reconnecting the earth to the moon. Ooh, I'm here making us dinner. Hi, Jesse. Deliver us the moon. Deliver us the moon. Let me look that up. Deliver us the moon. Deliver us the moon. I really like that name. The moon has gone dark, cutting off Earth's. Let me pause this. Cutting off Earth's last source. I'll show chat. Cutting off Earth's last source of energy. As a lone astronaut, you explore abandoned lunar bases, solve intricate puzzles, and navigate stunning zero-gravity environments, operate advanced vehicles, uncover hidden truths, and survive in the gripping sci-fi thriller. This sounds so good. I thought you said it was chill. Hold on. You can't hear the noise. Hold. Let me see if this works. There you go. This sounds really good. Jojo, you should check it out. You might like it.
What?
This game that Beef talked about, Deliver Us the Moon. Sounds interesting.
Is it free?
It's $25.
Nope.
Exactly how I feel. I have like 80 million games. How do I... What?
You want to play Frag?
Kind of. I put 7 Deadly Sins on the schedule because I know you've been wanting to play it really badly. Oh, right here. You know I'm down to play anything. That's why I have to be a variety streamer. I can't stick with one thing. It was on PS Plus, that's why I played it. It looks really fun. I love any games with puzzles. I love puzzles. I love puzzles, and I love exploring, and I love platforming, and I love horror. Ragged work, terrifying monsters. The training grounds at the south gate. We gotta go to a gate. Are you not booting up Frag? Are you not booting up 7 Deadly Sins?
I am. I was trying to get it to do what I wanted it to do.
Gotcha. So big. Ooh. And now, robbing my own castle. Oh my god, this game is so pretty. Oh my god, Jojo. What are you running the graphics?
Very low.
Oh,
Yeah, I need RAM.
I have mine on max and it's so pretty. There's sparkles in the water. You can experience it through my stream.
Fuck you, dude.
I'm so sorry.
How far are you?
Not far. I haven't left. The castle. I was doing like little side quests around like the castle and stuff, and just exploring. I wanted to look at it. It's so pretty.
Have you already done the fishing part?
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, I have not. Where are you? I'll look for you on the map. We gotta get in a group. How do I get over there? Climb this wall? Can't. Down.
Beef? Are you telling me you want to commit a crime with me?
Data centers are largely unmanned and contain lots of RAM. What? Do not plan illegal things in my chat, please. I am not a part of this.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Do we have a glider? I can't remember. Oh my god, thank god we do. I would have died. Did you send me an invite?
What?
No, no. It said I am now able to send invites. What? Why won't it let me do it? It's weird. Bartra's gift. I don't know. Dylan? How much RAM do I have in my computer? Huh? I have 32 gigs of RAM, Dylan said.
Yeah, I've got 16.
I want to hold an intervention for JoJo for his obsession with Frag. To be fair, it's my fault he has an obsession with Frag now. That's my bad, buddy. Chessie, you play Frag? Oh, I figured out the echo in my headphones. I figured it out, chat. Don't worry. There was a setting that was clicked on my OBS. Somehow. Oh my god, I just noticed her nipples are just about out. What?
Who?
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the physics of her. She's giving us a gift from Bartra at a gate. I saw a thing about someone stringing together a bunch of PS3s to data mine. No cheesy, no play Frag. I have teeths to collect. You go play your Alice. All hail the jiggle physics. Dylan, there's so much cleavage in this game. I'll go get it right now. Okay. Open
Twiz.
the approaching.
Twiz, I need RAM.
Great. Engraving allows you to craft engraved equipment using certain equipment items. Crafting a piece of engraved equipment provides it literally. I didn't finish. When you have all the required materials, you can craft.
That's what she said.
Like it didn't let me finish reading it. Her nipples are not one of the 7 sins. Oh my god, I got new armor. Sick. Oh, we have to go to the Fairy King's Forest. Are you down?
You finally let me invite you.
No, not the ads. I think it's because I was doing a main quest thing. Love you.
Yeah, that would do it. Dick.
I'm sorry about the ads, guys. What?
What?
What'd you say, Dylan? Okay, that's fine. Love you. Sorry, Dylan was...
I love you, Dylan.
Jojo said he loves you, Dylan. He said he loves him most. I don't know why my ads are... Let me try to fix that, guys. Do you want to let him in here? If he wants in here? I don't know if he does. He was just standing at the gate. Okay, hopefully I fixed the ads. I don't like how long they are. Pinstring that. What'd you say, Jojo?
What?
Are you coming on this quest with me?
Yeah, you said hold on.
Oh, I did? I think you're making that up.
You said you were gonna send like $3,000 or something. Wow.
$3,000 from where? Not my pocket.
Oh, let me draw these heroes.
Using the power of the Book of Stars, Tristan restores the destroyed ship. Now they should be able to sell it. Set sail for the Fairy King's Forest. Board the restored ship and head to the Forgotten Pier.
Go ahead and do that because I've done it.
Oh, you already did this? Damn! I thought, what happened to, I don't want to play 7 Deadly Sins without you because I don't want to get too far in the quest line.
I did it right when I got on. I thought I was having to catch up to you.
What? Where do I go? The orange. Right? Yeah. Let's go. What?
Have you drawn all your heroes?
Is that the thing where you can do like draw 1 or draw 10, like frag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got Drake.
Oh, where do you, wait, no, I did the weapons. Where do you draw the heroes? Oh!
You can get heroes or weapons.
Oh, yeah, I did draw 10 on Escanor because I didn't realize you could click all of them. Oh, wait, no, I got more. Draw 10 on regular. I got the same fucking thing. What the fuck? Exclusive skin. Aw, I wanna... Everybody say hi, Kelso. He's a rare Kelso sighting. What's on me? Who do I have? have
Make
Dreyfus.
sure you get all your rewards and everything.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Shadow.
Shadow Dragon 92523 just raided with 4 viewers.
Hello.
Whoa, you can see this guy's
Thank you for the
everything.
raid. Here is the raid message right there. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you so much for the raid. What were you doing? Playing Ninja Gaiden 4? Ninja Gaiden 4? What? I don't know how to say it. What? Gaiden. Gaiden? 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 Yeah, I played the DLC. Gaiden. Thank you. Gaiden. You cannot sit there and laugh at me for not knowing how to pronounce it. But welcome in. Thank you again for the raid. I hope you had a really good stream. If you know me, my name's OblivyOnyx, but everybody calls me Onyx. I'm a variety streamer. I play every game under the sun. I love horror stuff, though, too. Horror is the best. Now, right now, we are actually editing our team on 7 Deadly Sins. And if the raid message has been up long enough, we will go back to the gameplay screen. You got it. What did Beef say? Dragon King. Hi, Dragon King. How are you? Oh, let me give Shadow a shout out. There we go. There's a game that I want to play. It's called The Isle, and you play as a dinosaur.
Nice.
I don't know what I just did. Oh, wait. I think I get it. Okay. Quick sec. This is my team too. Gotcha. Him. Gonna have the toughest ones. 457, 901. 27. And then 235. Team 3. We're gonna do the weakest ones. So we're gonna do Dreyfus. Gila. Dreyfus, Gila. Let me read chat. I see. Ooh, favorite show. I'm the baby. Gotta love me. I love 7 Deadly Sins as well. Sorry, I'm gonna put chat back in here in a second. Give me 2 seconds. We'll just make this go away for right. Oh, not Cam Media. Where is it? We'll make that disappear for a second. We're doing the weakest ones. So we got Dreyfus and we got Gila. Dreyfus and then 209. And then we should do these two. This one. Okay, so we got the weakest ones, strongest ones, and then we have our little mix. I do want... Okay, I think this is fine. Hi, Goof. Better now that I have food. Hi, Goof. How are you? Welcome in. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Oh my god, all my favorite people are here. Let's bring chat outline back up.
I've been here.
Yeah, I know you've been here. I said all my favorite people. There we go. What? I want to be Meliodas. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. This way. Gotta get to the boat. The boat. And it wouldn't let me fly all the way over here, and I don't know why. I'm honored to be one of your favorites. Helldivers has been pretty popular. I'm glad you handled all your adulting today. I'm proud of you. Nachos. Oh, spaghetti and ravioli. I have a cheeseburger waiting on me. And I'm starving. Oh, I can't pick it up. I didn't get to eat before stream. Hey, Dylan? Whenever you get up to go to bed, you want to bring me my food? Please? Thank you. Yep. God, it reminds me of Zelda. What's all this? A seagull. Mine now. Oh, I can't go until you get done with your quest.
I'm on the way.
It won't let me. Rob everything. Take it all. If you want to continue doing your quest, I could just come to where you are. I don't want to interrupt anything you're doing.
I'm not doing a quest.
It said you are. Waiting on party member to finish quest is what my thing says.
How'd you get over this water?
What do you mean?
I'm having to swim to this spot.
I climbed. Did I get it? I don't even know how to fish. It didn't tell me. I don't want to fish anymore. How do I not fish?
Just left click to fish.
Oh. Like when they grab the hook, you just left click? There's stairs to get over here. There's like wooden stairs. Will you shut up? Ooh, clove tea. Oh. I am in a some time ago. Forest is fine. Am I king? Oh my god, I'm king.
こは妖精王の森の近くにある鳩場だよ。
妖精王の森はここから遠くないはずだ。行こう。
ハウザーさんは妖精王の森までの道を知ってますか？
ここからの道案内は頼むぞ、ティオレ。
Counting on
い
me.
よいよ僕の出番だね。この辺りは子供の頃から何度
Came
も
here
来
all
て
the
るから
time as a kid, so I know it like the back of my hand.
妖精王の森はあっちだよ。
Hey. I hate when my hair does the split thing. It bothers me so bad. I do not know why. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm right here, y'all. Where you at?
I'm up here. Oh, I see you. There's treasure.
There's treasure in them forests.
There's treasure afoot.
You would say a foot.
A foot. A foot.
And feet.
This is the last time I'm playing a game with you. I just hope you know that.
You could never.
I just hope you know. Chessie has the brain cell.
You didn't see this shiny sword right here you could pick up?
I did. I picked it up.
Oh.
It disappears on my screen. Dumbass. I was doing... No, not that. Where are we? Where is it telling
There's some
me
kind
to
of
go?
lizards.
What's this? Constellation stone, constellation stone. I don't... Oh, we're supposed to fix the boat. I remember now.
Don't worry about me, I'm just fighting over here.
You're doing good. Doing wonderful. My loot.
Shit, I didn't know I had your volume on my phone.
Cool.
Have you been hearing yourself?
No, actually, I have not. And your mic sounds good today.
I moved it.
Oh, good job.
I moved it to the right side of my desk where no other fucking wires are. And I quit using the little box it came with, the little thing with the soundboard.
Oh my god, I found teeth.
Where?
Oh, hell yeah. Tooth fairy
losing you.
dentures. I'm down here. We gotta fix the boat. I
Where?
just said that.
Where?
At the dock.
Then why did we come up here?
I could have sworn that's what it said we had to do. Right? I don't remember.
I think you'd have to. I already did it.
Hold on. I'm just...
I already fixed it. Is yours fixed right here?
Oh, we have to. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm in the wrong place. I gotta go that way. Come, come. Let's go a
Where'd you go?
What do you mean?
Jesus. You're so
I gotta
fast.
move. I gotta move. Fast as fuck, boy. I gotta go. There's not enough time in the day.
I do want to play at least one game of Frag.
Oh yeah, I want to play some Frag tonight too, don't worry. I'm thinking hop off this game at
Where-
like, I don't know,
Where are you?
10:30 and do Frag.
You're not on my screen, dude.
I'm up the cliff. Climb up.
I am.
I'm right here. I see you.
I'm up the
Oh, I
cliff.
see you fighting. You're fighting for your life.
I don't see you.
Look up. literally just up.
I was just on where you. They need to fix the maps. Because I was on top of where it said you were.
There was nobody up
That's
here as I was
crazy.
climbing.
That's wild.
That's wild. Spice Master. Spice Master. I love Italian food. Oh.
I love Italian men.
God, stuffed shells. Manicotti. Oh my god. Tortellini. I'm a slut for tortellini.
Bro, I made some spinach and cheese tortellinis the other day.
That sounds so good. Fucking
With a light.
Why is it so
light little
foggy over here?
marinara.
Marinara.
Mm-hmm.
No, Alfredo. It's good in marinara. Oh my god, look at the bridge. I want to climb the bridge. Why are you flying? There's a bridge.
I made it a lot quicker.
Oh, oh my god, there's a lizard.
Did it go down?
This lizard.
The question mark is down. Down there.
Down?
Yeah.
Oh, it's where the bridge is.
Oh. Fucking bridge. Thank you, because I was about to fall to my death
I
anyway.
never thought I'd get to visit the Fairy King's forest like this. King of the Fairy King, and I can't read fast enough.
Dude, fuck chunks of tomato in the marinara sauce.
Oh, I don't want chunks of tomato.
No chunks.
No chunks.
No fucking onions.
I love onions. I fucking love onions. I'm the
I
risotto chef in my
like
family.
peppers.
Dylan hates lasagna and ravioli, like anything that's stuffed with cheese, you know, like any pasta stuffed with cheese he does not like. Which is so sad because that's like my favorite food.
Yeah, I don't like chunks, man. I don't want to bite into a tomato.
Ew. Albion.
Oh, I'll tell you what Dylan eats.
Does Dylan eat grown-up food? No, he loves food. He just it's textures. So like the only thing he really like for real hates is olives. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze.
Are you watching this?
I don't know what is she doing?
Because I already pressed escape. Like.
Oh, I was just letting it run for chat.
I done said fuck chat.
Dylan hates olives. He likes the flavors of mushrooms, but he can't eat mushrooms because of the texture. And then like the stuffed pasta, it's because of the texture as well. Does everything look good on my end, chat? Hope so.
I think.
I think it does.
Move.
Why isn't the barrier letting us through? Edible
Don't you-
moss.
I can't see you moving. Are you moving?
On the game or like me?
You're getting. Okay, I was delayed. Hold on. You're moving. You're good.
It's so foggy, can't see a thing. Oh, the fog.
Yeah, I skipped it.
But I want to know.
It's still just Japanese for me.
It is too, yeah. It's okay. Fuck's sake, my Twitch is being buggy. I was trying to say my brother Aaron doesn't like the texture of mushrooms, but he likes the flavor. And ads don't pop out. No, not the ad.
I've never seen Aaron spilled
I haven't either, actually. That's crazy. a very unique way to spell Aaron.
I think you have to come over here.
Whoa! What are we supposed to do?
What?
Oh my god, this is why we watch the
following
cutscenes.
Oh wait,
It's like the Koroks.
what's a Korok?
Oh my god, we're getting hurt. I'm getting hurt. I'm getting so hurt.
You gotta jump over what he's doing.
Oh. You just do that. I'm just gonna follow him.
Oh.
Oh no, you can't.
Yeah,
You can't stray
we're
too
supposed
far.
to follow him.
You can't
I just read the side of the screen.
No, I can't see anything in the fog. There we go. Every time I mention Korok, you say, "What's a Korok?" and it just makes me laugh so hard.
You done messed up now, Ron.
大丈夫だよ。結界の中は安全なはずだから。
警備のための仕組みを時々変えるのは当然だが、リオネス城でも警備兵の合言葉とか定期的に変えて。
霧が消えているぜ。
What up, Ghost?
Oh my god.
Turn on your camera right now, or else. Turn it on.
Hey,
Turn on your camera.
Iggy.
you wanna play Frag?
Iggy, you wanna play Frag? Yeah, it's because I clicked out on chat. Sorry. Hi, Ghost. How are you? I didn't like deviled eggs and mashed potatoes for 25 years because my childhood daycare couldn't cook, but I love them now. I love deviled eggs and mashed potatoes. Potatoes of any kind. Please. Yes.
Where do we see what server we're on, Ghost?
I'm free. Ooh, Frag. Haggy, we were thinking about Frag in like 30 minutes or so. 10 o'clock. Oh. Wind element stones can be charged using a hero's wind attacks or adventure skills. Once fully charged, they release a wind sphere forward. Okay. Use the Book of Stars movement to position the element stone, ensuring the wind sphere hits the target accurately. Wind spheres can instantly trigger objects of the same element, such as wind flowers or pollen flowers. I'm still running. Oh, that was wrong. How do I do this? The star again? Is it this? Oh, it's this. Okay.
Trying to figure out what server we're in.
We're American East. It tells you when you get into the game.
Oh, I mean, he asked.
Oh. What is this making me do? I'm not getting, I'm not understanding.
You don't have to do anything with this.
It was just telling us about the wind stones.
You gotta go down here with a question mark in.
Yeah, but it was just telling us about wind stones.
I don't care.
I think it's trying to teach us how to fly with them.
Oh. Well, you're about to be in a cutscene in just a second.
No! Hold on. We were supposed to
Okay,
fly.
okay.
We were supposed to fly through the rings above
Okay.
us.
All right.
What? Don't you talk to me
That
like
sounds
I'm
like
a child.
so much fun.
It does actually.
Come on!
I'm here. I just ran past you.
Oh my god, I came back all the way up.
Bro, what do you mean?
Look at me gliding. Ah.
See, you're supposed to glide. Told you. Cutscene, cutscene. Potatoes are amazing. I love all potatoes of all kinds in every way, shape, or form. Something's wrong with the book. Did Haggy answer?
He told you to fuck off.
I don't understand where the animosity is coming from, but I want you to know it's not chill.
Just kidding, Jesus.
You need to calm down. And for an after dinner snacks, a big bag of tater crisps. Dylan hates when I call them taters.
Ugh.
He hates it. I do it on purpose just to annoy him. But it drives him crazy when people like mispronounce words.
Onyx.
Yes.
I just got invited to a group on Facebook Messenger called Cleaning with Keeks.
That's not me.
Like, same spelling as your nickname and everything.
No, that's not me. I promise that's not me. It's an imposter.
Oh, I know it's not.
See, they're jumping on the flat. Oh, we're dropping some frames.
Where?
The flowers are causing me to drop frames. I can't get down.
I lost you again.
My computer doesn't want to. I'm down. Just keep running down.
I'm gonna glide.
Oh, I see you. My computer doesn't like looking at the flowers. Oh my god. Maybe I should drop my graphics.
You have a minute to talk about your extended warranty?
When I got a colonoscopy, I thought about writing that on a note and putting it between my butt cheeks for my doctor to find. I actually did. You can. I'm being so serious. You can ask Dylan. I mentioned it to him before my appointment, and he died. I was like, would that be
I need
weird?
that voice clip. Somebody clip that shit.
That's what I did. I was like, should I do that or would it be weird?
Wasn't fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I had only met the doctor the day of the appointment, like when I was put to sleep. I met him like 30 minutes before I got put to sleep, so I didn't do it. I feel like if it was like my doctor that I knew for a while, then I'd probably do it. Oh, I don't like turning down the graphics. Everything looks boring now.
No, I don't want them on my face. I don't know what I didn't want on my face.
I hear left. What'd she do to her face?
I made pulled up a quote from her little quote command.
Oh.
And it says, "No, I don't want them on my face."
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know when that was from.
Peggy, are you joining Frag? I didn't see if you answered. I'm sorry if you did. And chat flew by. I apologize, sir. Papa! Ooh. Oh no. Why are you gonna fly away from your daughter like that? That's rude. What the fuck?
Wait, now how old did you say this little fairy thing is?
Wow, ignoring me. I wasn't ignoring you. I will ignore you now on purpose though as punishment. What'd you say? This fairy? I don't know, like 16?
I think you're just saying that.
I don't know. Let me go look up
What's her
Tiora.
name?
Hold on. Tiora. She's 11, Jojo. And 15 in the later. Yeah, she's 11 in this game.
Okay, you wanna play Frag?
I can't fucking breathe.
That's not a fucking 11-year-old.
I don't understand
Right?
why game. That's not. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there. Some people develop faster than others. I know this is a video game character. I'm trying to say this correctly without getting canceled. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, buddy. Buck. Keeping it a buck with chat. Try to keep it politically correct.
Dude, are you getting a screen tear right here, like all the way through?
Yeah, my screen is freaking out.
Fuck.
I thought it was the flowers.
It's right here.
Ugh. Oh my god.
Oh,
What
I
is
fell out of the
that?
world.
What? Where'd you go?
I am under the world.
Oh my god, I want
I'm
to be
about
under the
screenshot.
world. How do I do that? How do I do that? Help me.
It was where I was standing. There's a big crack in the world.
I see absolutely nothing.
Hold on,
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
send it to
see
you.
the crack. Activate. Yeah, I'm down for some frag. Quick spam chat so she can't see my answer. What? Okay, be down for frag then. Jojo fell into the crack. Jojo! Can I see you on the map? Oh, I do see you. Hi. Oh my god, thank you so much. Guys, they're cold now. No. They're soggy though. I like soggy fries. Is that weird, chat? Oh, thank you for the follow, Ghost.
Ghosts Night Mar 3 just
I
followed.
sent it to you. Don't open it on stream.
Ghost gets a fortune cookie because they follow. Thank you so much for the follow. Y'all cool? Thanks. You're cool too. Hi, Dylan. Bye, Dylan. Let's give
Dude,
Ghost.
I pressed auto move to the quest, and Hawk's just running around down here.
Down under the world?
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot of where I'm at.
Ghost?
Don't bring it up on screen.
Okay. Ghost,
Because of our
your
last conversation.
Ghost, your fortune says, with integrity and consistency, your credits are piling up. Does that mean like good karma? Like good things are piling up?
Am I down here?
Oh my god, can you see me above you?
Hawk took me like directly under the question mark.
Okay,
Do you
hold
see
on.
me?
No, it's literally just the game, like normal.
I'm under a huge tree.
Yeah, the fairy tree. Let me see if it does something when I run in. It might do a cutscene. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Wow. That's where Elaine
I
was
see a bunch of
playing.
fairy rings up there.
Right here? Viewpoint? Oh yeah, Elaine's grave. Okay, let me talk to Gearhard. What?
You're down here with me.
I'm down there with you?
Oh nope, I'm back. I'm falling back into the world.
Let's see what happens. Hi,
You were
Turtle.
down there with me for a second.
Chat, say hi, Turtle. Don't disturb the fairy trees. It's actually a fortune teller. She doesn't just pick at random. She lets the spirits guide her. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm on my EU server. Oh. Finishing up my side quest before I fight Bug again before Spider main quest. Oh, cool. This is only, well, I played the demo and then this is like my second time playing it. I need to play it more. There's so many things to do.
It took her like 4 hours to get through the tutorial.
Yeah, it did. There's so many things to look at. It's so good. Thank you for the lurk, Chessie. I'll be over in your stream as soon as I'm done with mine, like always.
日前から
Terrible chat says hi. She's drinking her water now.
ジジウバルトラ全国王も予兆を見たそうです。妖精王の森でも
They have the longest cutscenes ever.
Jesse needs to start fucking playing games with me offline too. And Twiz.
I think also I don't play games offline because whenever I'm offline, I'm spending time with family. So like, I hate to miss out on family time, you know? I love you! You're a queen, Jessie! Jessie's so cunty. Diva.
What's wrong with her ass?
Whose ass?
She looks like a honeybee.
Oh, Gerhard? Her legs were cut off.
Oh, now I feel like an ass.
Yeah, by, it was, if I remember correctly, it was somebody that she started having feelings for in the show. And
Oh my god.
it was a human, yeah, the human. A human cut off her legs. She started falling for it. Yeah, it was sad. Very, very sad. You should feel like a kid. Also, she's not a beehive. FYI.
Old as Gerhard.
Like 1,000.
She looks like she's 11.
She's like 1,000. Hold on, I'll look.
Hey, you never finished your statement. You need to cancel yourself.
She's 4,200 years old.
How?
She's an advisor to the fairy king. Because fairies are immortal. They're not invincible. They can die, but they're immortal. They could live forever if they stay out of trouble. There's a difference between immortality and invincibility.
Actually.
My 7-year-old says that to me. When I say something to him and he wants to tell me I'm wrong, he'll go, actually. A message for the captain. Okay. Where go now?
This way.
Oh wait, there's a chest right here.
Don't take my chest.
Chest.
Chesticle.
Okay, which way? I want to get out of this forest. It's freaking causing my screen to skip so much. Oh my god. Graphics.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was just me.
No. It's my computer too, I promise. Oh my god, they're getting jiggy with it. Where's younger dad?
Luna's getting her first tooth.
Oh, is she Stevens?
Yeah.
Poor baby.
But I didn't even know. Because, I mean, she
Chill.
only cries when she wants milk and shit.
Milk and shit. At least she's not like my daughter. She got all of her teeth the same, like all 4 of her front teeth at the same time. She's got all of the teeth that are grouped in the same groups as each other. She got all of them at the same time. So like all of her molars at the same time, all of her canines. It was bad.
I put her in the little baby carrier on the front of me and take her for a walk every day.
Aww. I bet she loves it.
She does. She fell asleep today on it.
Oh, she's mad at her dad.
Oh no, all I hear is...
I wish I could understand.
Me too.
Like, actually, I know it's telling us with the captions, but like, I wish I could understand the language. That would be really cool.
All I know is ni hao means hello.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
ヘルブラムが見えないのもここが夢だからじゃないか。これが夢じゃないって言うなら何なんだよ。
さっさと目を覚ましてよ。
Stop your whining.
くせに情けない。早く元の世界に。もう何よ。
ちょっと待ってティオレ。
Yore.
興奮しすぎだよ。少し落ち着いてから話した方。
僕、パパの冒険の話が大好きだったのに。
Oh, I hear a little feedback from your
考え
mic.
たくもない。
Just a smidge.
よし
Bullshit.
Just a smidge.
トリトリ、行こう。
Really?
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna throw my PC somewhere.
ここは何？
Baby fairies. Oh.
I haven't moved anything.
It's just, it's probably just support, or maybe it's just. Where'd you get that mic?
なんだよ。遊べる
Oh, Timu.
Timu. That might be the issue.
Could be.
風の花は満開になると空に風を吹きつけるんだ。幼い妖精たちは風の花の風に乗って遊びながら飛ぶ方法を身につけるの。
Waited for them to learn how to fly.
私
Aww.
はパパとよく
They're
風の
floating on
花
the
で遊んで
flowers
た。
to learn how to fly.
Now, does it sound like feedback or does it sound like my son snoring?
No, it sounds like the crackly, like the electricity,
小
you know?
さい頃からよくここで気晴らしをした
It's
んだ。
not showing off.
だから久々にここに来て
It
み
was
た
for
か
a
ったの。
split second.
あれ
Stop complaining.
I'm not. I'm just. I thought you wanted to know.
No, I don't want to know anything.
Screamer.
What?
ティオレ、いきなりどうしたの？大丈夫？
あのスクリーマーの歌声を聞いたら急にクラクラして。
10-14.
スクリーマー？ちょっとティオレ、
Do you have to follow
助け
the
てもらっ
screamer?
たお礼は言わなくちゃ。
Hello, sir.
そんなことより。
Oh, you guys are mean.
先だよ。
It has the kids. It has the kids.
前に早く捕まえなきゃ。
I'll kill him.
Oh my god. Get him, get him. There we go. The poor babies. No, kidnapping. Why is his eyes like that? King.
やっぱりこれが原因か。
あれ？私たちどう？
What are we doing here? Dad is dead.
ねえパパ、さっきはこの森のスクリーマーたち
Translated
は
this shit
2
for
つ
me.
の群れに分かれて暮らしているんだ。光の庭園のスクリーマーは妖精たちとも仲良しなんだけど、誘惑の森のスクリーマーたちはちょっと神経質だから気をつけてね。
How long are you gonna be
ま
on
ずは
till?
光の庭園の方へ
Probably
行ってみよう。
11:30 like
さ
usual.
っきのスクリーマーもそこにいるかもしれない。
I'll get out or get off. I'll start winding chat down at 11:30. Raid out, and then I have to highlight some videos, and I have to pull some VODs off YouTube and send them to Chessie because she needs them for the podcast thing. I'm trying to be better at managing my time, because on top of streaming, which is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, 4 nights a week, I also have to clip and highlight and make like the picture for the highlight video. What's that called again? Thumbnail. I have to do all that, and then I'm busy during the day with the kids, so I gotta find some time. So I try to do it after stream as fast as I can. I'm ready to start, Frag, whenever you are. I'm ready. Oh my god, look at all this screamer.
どこにいるんだろう。あれ？
あ？
いたいた。あそこにいたよ。
ヌックをいじめないで。ヌックは何も悪くないもん。
Nothing wrong.
あれ、ビオラ？
The TikTok that I posted of left is my most viewed one with like 200 something views, and mine get like 2 or 6.
I think my most viewed is a selfie, and it says starting soon for one of my streams, and it has like 2K views or something, and I don't understand why.
I'm not good at TikTok. I don't know the hashtags and stuff.
I don't think I'm good at TikTok. I just...
You are good at TikTok. You TikTok all day. Like,
not
you're
all
always
day.
posting something.
I try to post 1 gaming clip a day on the days that I stream. And then most nights I post a going live. And then on Mondays I also post the schedule. And then I post that to all my social medias, Discord, and YouTube, and Twitch. Yeah. I do
I'm already halfway there.
Do a lot for my channel. Chessie just messaged me the other day asking how what I did to like post my highlights and my clips and like all that, and I was like, I just do it by hand. I just post it manually. That's how much I love streaming. I put in the work because I legitimately, like, this is the one thing in my life I enjoy doing.
See what Orchid's doing.
I don't think she's streaming. I think she's just playing with her friends. Her other friend and Chaos are all playing right now.
Oh.
I want to play RV there yet. I want to peek too. I haven't played peek in so long. Okay, where do we go now? Go this way.
She's not in a VC on her Discord.
Who? Might be a private call. You stalker.
Well then.
Stalker. It's okay. I opened Steam to see who she was playing with. It didn't tell me.
Same.
Oh my god, we are alike.
Dude, the Outlast Trials was so
I want to play
scary.
so bad.
I'll play right now.
I want to play, but I want to play with Orky because we always said we were going to play with her. I don't...
They're too good at it though.
They're so good at games like that.
They were running around and I was like, I kept dying. It's scary.
I was so sad because that was the night I was having so many tech issues and I would have 100% played with you guys. I couldn't get it figured out at the time.
You said you have misery?
I think I do. I think Logan has it in the family library. I'll have to double check.
Logan has it on his wish list.
Oh, if Logan has it in his wish list, then I might not have it. Oh, what is this thing?
Because they have 10-player servers now.
Oh, dang. I didn't realize there was mushroom monsters.
Devour is one of them games you really
fucking love Devour.
have to play during Halloween.
I love Devour so much. It's such a good game.
But it's not a game you just play all year though.
I play any horror game all year, you know me. I don't wait for Halloween for games like that. A lot of other streamers do though. That's okay. Just not me. I like horror all year round.
I've been so into Frag that I haven't played Vindictus in like.
Let's go.
Since I started playing.
Let's go play Frag. Come on.
I have 7,300 hours in Vindictus.
I still want to try out the game that Blakeland told me to try out. PSO2.
Yeah.
He said it's really, really, really good.
I forgot to look that up. Fantasy Star Online. The second one, New Genesis,
Yeah. It's his like favorite game right now.
is free,
Yeah, he said the character customization is crazy.
but it says 48% of the reviews are mixed.
I don't even look at reviews when
Jesus
I play a
Christ.
game.
I hate whenever I click on something and it starts playing loud music.
Me too.
69.
Haggy, if you're still there, we're in my voice chat in Discord. Buddy.
I'll try to pull him in there. I'll try to pull him in.
Actually, while we're waiting for Haggy, I might open PSO2 for a minute.
You might do what?
I think I'm gonna download PSO2 real quick.
Oh, there's the invite button. I found it. I don't. There he is. He is playing something right now, so.
You're such a stalker.
Discord showed me he was playing something.
Jesus.
There he is. There he is.
Jesus, he's stalking you.
I'm not stalking.
He is stalking. Hey, Hoggy Woggy. Oh.
I'm booting it up now.
Oh, you're taking too long.
Okay, well, no.
Come on, Frag. Boot up, boot up.
Set your
Don't even have it
priority
open.
high.
It's loading. Okay.
Yeah, you don't even have it open.
It's loading.
Yeah.
Look, see?
See, I'm already on the screen.
I was before, and then I exited out, and then I'm going back in.
Yeah. Right.
I swear, it's from the VOD.
Right.
Are we doing standard? Or are we doing ranked?
Standard first.
I haven't played this in a while.
Well, you were just playing with us the other day, weren't you?
Played with you a Thursday. I don't remember which.
Every time you say I haven't played this in a while, it's always been like within the last week that you've played it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That doesn't mean a while, Hakey.
Hey, a day's a while.
No, it's not. Go, hooah! We're jumping right in. Don't overthink it.
I'm overthinking.
I'm gonna overthink it. Oh my god, this wild style skin is so cute.
Which one?
It's the one that says Acme on the front. It looks like a newspaper. The shirt.
Oh, I have that one.
Cute.
And I have the Elegant Heiress.
Elegant Heiress. Fancy.
And I upgraded it to one of the purple ones.
Tell me why I always get stuff for other Lancers that I don't use. I never get stuff for Zephyr. Ever.
Well, I got a dope ass skin for that sonar person.
Oh.
But I don't use them.
Assignment confirmed.
Oh,
Countdown
match.
Stay frosty.
Giggly puff.
I forget how to play this game.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
You're gonna carry us.
Nah. Oh wait, no, all my anime girls.
Hi, Pooh! Oh my god. Clappy Uranus to you, Pooh. Pooh, you want to do RV there yet soon?
Use your point, use your point. On it.
We were just talking. I was literally just thinking to myself, I need to message Pooh and see if she wants to do RV there yet.
Who are you wanting to use, Peggy?
I wonder if my mom and dad are still out there. Maybe even in a place like this.
Oh my god, that was...
Probably dead.
Oh my god, did you hear her line?
Peggy?
I shall message you, Pooh, and we shall figure out a day.
So I'm in the lobby, but not the match.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
That's odd.
What do we do? Can't leave.
You can keep playing for this one. Like you said, it's started, right?
Let's make it a fast one.
The lag is real.
Oh, he's playing.
Behind you.
Where?
That way.
Oh. Got him. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. Where? Over here?
Oh, somebody said AFK.
Oh, they're small.
We're going to have to... Yeah. I made it back to our spawn.
Attacker spawn point. Now you can play bridge. And...
Quadra kill! I could have gotten an ace if I killed one more. Damn!
Team, you're in the lead.
I still can't get over that 15 second delay.
Okay. No, I want to get out of the game. I feel so bad for Haggy.
Your world.
I know, I'm chilling.
I feel bad.
Neat couple of cards you got there.
I think I'm actually about to get some food.
Go get food while you're waiting on us. There you go.
Yeah. I also got some
Sustenance.
new nicotine.
Nicotine.
Yeah.
I quit
So,
vaping successfully, and then I started again because I was so stressed out and depressed.
What? You did?
Yeah, I did.
Hi.
I did.
Oh.
I know. I'm disappointed in myself too.
I quit vaping and went to nicotine pouches.
I quit vaping when I had my daughter, and the stress, it was too much. It was too much.
I mean,
I started smoking when I was 14.
I started smoking when I was 13.
And then I finally
My cousins
quit.
were terrible. There is 100% there. Oh, yep, he's up there.
I need a team of me. Enemy spotted out. Side A. I don't know what ghosts feel like. I'm recharged.
You hear him?
Enemy side A.
I would be right there.
Wild Style's in here.
Easing up.
You're down to half a minute.
Oh, AFK again.
Oh. Jesus.
Their team is telling us that.
Enemy spotted at. Attacker spotted. I can't wait to
He
use
just said my team is authentic trash.
Now you can play bridge and
Alrighty.
Back to back quadras.
Fuck yeah! No, I'm just getting him. It's lucky. That's all.
Oh, I bet that card will be amazing.
This one, this one, this one, this one, please. Please. Thank you.
Well, we had to lose this one for that one.
Grenade mode though.
let's make this.
I don't like grenade mode.
We need to do it. We're gonna plan. Are we there yet with Pooh? I'm gonna hide my dagger. 'Cause they...
Who's in your chat?
Huh? Oh yeah, she was.
She's in.
Mhm.
Always prepared.
I don't know if she's still there though.
Don't get lonely while I'm gone.
Oh, I hear so many footsteps.
I get so many kills whenever I stand here.
Oh.
Enemy.
God damn it!
Y'all just come in.
God damn it! Die! Jesus Christ!
Converter planted.
Enemy spotted
Hey, oh my God!
The only way to travel. Enemy spotted at second floor.
I got me some sex piece.
Damn it! A. He's around. What are you doing? Oh, right there! Bruh.
Where?
Go defuse, go defuse, go defuse. Motherfucker, please distract, come on.
Come on!
No! No.
Dude,
That was
it was literally
so
97%.
That was so good. He got you from behind. No. Jojo got from behind.
Have someone do that for me. Switching sides.
Switching sides.
Oh, but I might find that guy.
Yeah, you're fucking muted.
I am not muted. I am not muted. I better not be muted, actually. Scanning that. Let them hear you. Hear shot. Come on, come on, come on.
What is that thing anyway?
God. No! Gigglypuff. No, we don't have enough, damn it.
Let's make this quick.
Do you want it? Did they say converter hog to me? Or you? Did you say that?
No, I said that to you.
Oh, do you want it?
No.
I just ran straight forward.
Oh shit, I think they got unlimited ammo right now.
I would go down mid.
That's not a beacon. That's my knife.
Oh, yep, they're over there.
Got one.
Good job.
Watch out, they're coming this way.
Yeah.
Hunt them down. Or don't. It's your call.
Oh, there's just one left. I'm gonna plant unless they get him. I'm planting. It's the sniper, by the way, that's still alive.
Converter instated. Roasted. Love it. Great charge. Back to it, I guess.
Are they AFK again?
Sure. I hear him.
Unless it's me.
No, right here, right here. Got him.
Good job!
Let's get some cards in here.
No! No!
Redrawn. Is there anything
Ooh!
Barrel hog.
Please, 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 please! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good.
Barrel Hawks and Turtleback? Hell yeah.
Me?
Oh, melee. Alright.
Fucking shit.
Hell yeah, melee!
I suck at this. He said follow him, so let's
Follow
go.
who?
Harper.
Harper Kismet?
One with the arena.
Attack starts, plant the converter at the target site. Keep it charged.
Got one.
Watch your backs.
Got one.
Good job, good job. Spawn point. Is it AFK again? Oh my god. That was insane.
I feel bad for the people that
I
are
know,
trying.
I feel so bad for them. Sorry.
That's embarrassing for you guys.
Damn, why couldn't that be a ranked game? Bruh. Are you for real right now?
Screenshot that. It doesn't happen often.
What do you...
Wow.
That was
Orange
rude.
with 10 kills. That's crazy.
10-1-1.
That.
Are you in?
Can't you do that in ranked?
Okay. Okay, listen. I'm just a girl. You're gonna hurt my feelings. That's fucked up. We're going to rank now. No warm up for you.
Of what?
That's what she said.
Doesn't say.
Not to me.
Why can't I do that in ranked? I think I subconsciously just get... I just get too nervous. I get anxious.
should probably turn my audio up.
Good idea.
Mhm.
Be gold 3.
Gold 3?
About to be.
How the hell are you gold 3?
Yeah, I'm gold 5. Because he plays all day long.
Oh, my platinum friend is in a game right now. Yeah.
Oh, apparently I'm gold 4.
I am.
Gold 5.
You gold 5?
Yeah.
I thought you were gold 4.
I was, and then I ranked down.
Oof.
Yesterday there was like some kind of rank protection going on.
Yeah.
Countdown commencing. Get ready to ramble. Oh,
Wasn't it like the end of the season?
Best dim sum.
I played the Parasite mode. It was so fun.
Oh, yeah, that one's fun. I played that with Logan in his group.
I don't even know what that is.
You get turned into a zombies.
Oh, so it's like
waves.
infected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool relic, but creepy.
Thorn trap?
I've never seen that one before.
The thorn one? I haven't seen. Yeah, that's what I was
These are
just
all new.
thinking.
As long as we don't have to talk.
Uh-oh.
Let's get in, let's get out. I don't want my tea getting cold.
Your anus flapping.
The Uranus
sorry,
is
what?
flapping. Just like Pooh said.
I think it has a big AoE on it.
This is me,
That's what she said.
It's ranked, guys.
Enemy at B main.
Oh, they're not over here.
You're not on B?
They're not where I am.
Oh, you're on A. There they are. Oh, 2 over there.
Good one.
B.
Oh, okay. That's kind of dumb.
Oh, I lagged right whenever they started shooting.
Oh,
Time to draw your shard cards.
all of these are good.
Infuse that card with points.
I'm gonna play Chessie's person. Come on, Oscar. Come on, Oscar. Wow.
They're probably gonna go B again, wouldn't you say? I fear.
Actually. Wait, how am I able to throw this past the barrier?
Looks like a good place to rematerialize. spotted.
God damn it.
Am I dying? Spooky.
Oh, I'm on 10%, bro.
I'm
Fuck.
coming.
Here I am.
Give me 10
Oh,
seconds.
God. She's around that corner right down there.
Only 30 seconds to go.
Oh, thank God.
Looks like it worked.
Ooh, check out these cards. Is there anything cards can't do? Picky, picky. I hope
Fragile
you like the new
convert?
card better. I hope both
Here we
cards
go.
be nice together.
Let's make this quick, huh? Teamwork. My favorite.
Oh, we can't crouch.
Oh.
That's the main thing I do.
Forget you can crouch.
I miss
I
the
never
sensory
crouch.
deprivation tank.
Makes it where they can't hear you.
You can look down the scope of your gun, too.
You can put shift while sprinting.
Materialize.
Oh, A. Oh, damn. There's 3 on A.
Oscar got fucked up.
Converting, I guess.
Oh! Behind.
Will actually pay us.
Good job, Jojo.
I don't like that DMR. That's pissing me off.
Anybody want to give me my gun?
Oh, where did you go?
Use that card with
fever.
points.
Oh, the AK. Yeah.
Let's make this quick, huh?
Try Corona. I bought Corona too.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Why is this red?
What's red?
B side.
B site red? Vulnerability site B.
I'm hyped
That's what it
up.
says.
This is
I don't know what
wonder
that
what
does.
that is. Yeah.
I might need to ghost.
I want to stay and find out, bro. Goddamn, Jojo.
Mid. God damn, Jojo.
I was gonna try out the fucking skill where you dash and blind them.
Kinda got a wee bit fucked up there.
I never played him before.
Enemy spotted. Site B.
Oh my god, I'm looking for everybody. They're all over the place. Crazy.
Bitch.
Damn it!
They're down to their last lancer.
Mid, they're in mid. Yeah, right there. They're coming.
She has to be low.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's crazy. Low.
my god.
There we
Thank
go.
God for that melee.
Reloading. This game is equal.
Good job, Oscar.
That was muscle mommy right there.
Muscle mommy.
Let's switch sides. Next round, anyway.
Ooh, psychic diffusing.
And now,
What?
your world changes. 2
One
new
more?
rules.
Oh god, I hope they don't get Blade Master. That scares me.
Oh, Blade Master, no.
Oh, look at my
No!
skin.
I won't enter yet. I'm sticking by you.
Ooh, I like your skin. Come here, let me see. I like the
What is it?
purple. You're so cute. Oh. Adorable.
Anyone call for the expressway?
I'll be back when I care.
They got Blade Master, guys.
I'm not a fan of that.
Nope. Nope.
I know you can
Oh,
shoot
there
their
they are.
feet. You got it, dumbass.
I got somebody low.
Shoot their feet. You know, do that.
Road.
The only way to travel.
I got you. Onyx, how are you almost dead?
I'm on 21, yeah. They're gonna go around.
Drop converter here.
You are correct. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my god! Jesus! I walked out and I was done for! Good job, Nikki.
I used to
Kill there too.
What?
I got a kill.
Oh, I didn't see your name pop up. I'm sorry. Good job, Jojo. I sincerely apologize that I did not say good job to you.
You know this gun is like highly underrated. This fucking marksman weapon.
Cool,
The Bad Moon?
but
Ooh, B-side spin?
Wait, I'll silence myself. Shit.
is there anything cards can't do?
Teleport to a teammate's side. That'd be good for pathogen.
As long as we don't need to talk.
Okay, you
What does
call,
theirs do?
you call me a converter hog, and then you guys all run away from it.
I don't touch the bomb.
I only take it when I'm in ranked. Are we in ranked?
Yes, we
We
are.
are
in
ranked.
Oh, you can hand it to me.
Hey, Orchid! Oh, Orchid wants to play Phasmo.
Orchid's here.
We got 2 spots in Phasmo. We just started playing Frag with Hagee.
I also have fast.
Oh, they couldn't shoot through that shit.
I think it's her in Chaos. Oh, I got sniped. I took him down with me though.
Hey, they can shoot through that shit?
Shoot through what? The shield?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They killed me through my shield. I thought I was only supposed to be able to shoot through it.
That's bad.
I'm sorry, Orchid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got Hagee now. I'm not gonna ditch Hagee. That'd be so mean.
Oh, you can go play.
I know. I'm not that type of person.
Fast. Yeah, I'm saying you can go play fast. It's fine.
No.
Okay.
Maybe no. I don't ditch friends. We invited you to play Frag. We're sticking it out with Frag. Whether you like it or not.
Chilling. No, like, we can finish up this rank. You go play fast.
No, because by the time I don't know what time it would be by the time we're done. It's 11. I try to get off at 11:30.
The converter.
I don't have it.
I do. I'm going to be.
Oh, I'm over here.
Guess I'll
Scared
just
of it.
die.
There's a sniper.
Anybody can come over here with me.
We're coming. Me and Hagee are.
It's away.
B is closed off over here.
Oh,
There's somebody to the left. Up here. Oh, it's the sniper. The sniper's to the left up there.
Try to aim through that.
Careful. They're low. Where are you, Jojo? let him take care of me and go. Oh.
Oh my god.
They're everywhere.
What a bitch. What a motherfucker. Why did I fall for that?
You got by the barrage. No.
Why did I fall for that?
My eyes were closed the whole time. I didn't see anything.
Alright, time to draw your shard cards.
Draw the shard cards.
You know, it's just wild what these cards do. I hope both cards play nice together.
We just all rush in together.
Rush, just go.
Fuck it, let's go die.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
That's my type of plan. You want to take the converter? No, you take the converter. I'll follow you.
I'm not going that way again.
I gotta babysit JoJo. Careful, they have a sniper.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I would flank around to B maybe. There's 3 at least on A, JoJo.
I got one of them. I don't think this shield does anything, so.
Can we open a window?
Shit.
One enemy left. Hope that helps.
Ah! They jump scared me.
Yeah, they came around that corner. I just want to rank up. Please.
Time to draw your shard cards.
All of these are kind of.
Effect, huh? Aw, that card's gonna feel like That's a neat couple of cards you got there.
Let's make it quick, huh?
Attacking team is in the lead.
It's hot potato. Somebody stay with me.
Don't even worry.
I'm coming.
How do I tell when it's gonna hurt me?
I think your stream starts getting red.
Fuck.
Come on, team. Don't disappoint me more than usual.
I gotta drop the converter if somebody wants to grab it.
There's traps over there. And a hollow point.
How do I drop the converter again? I forgot.
Press 4 and then G.
It's okay. I forgot I had it.
You bitch. I've done that before.
Well, I was covered in Wild Styles goop, so it covered the
Come on now.
the color of the converter hurting me.
Someone took my vector, damn it.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Peggy.
Ah!
What is that thing anyway?
As long as we don't have to talk.
Someone took my gun.
Someone took your gun. Do you? Oh, I can't give it to you.
It's fine. I got the AR.
I'm sorry.
I got the cool AR too. Somehow.
That guy wants to go to Site B.
Maybe. Okay. I mean, I'll listen to him. He's.
Nah, fuck him.
Why? He's doing good.
There, I'm a goof on you.
No.
This'll make a pretty splash.
Oh my god.
Oh, they're this way.
Which way?
That guy's all the way at B. So.
Oh my god. Somebody over there to the left.
Yep, she's low.
I am 45. They flanked behind us.
Oh shit, they're everywhere.
Okay, not realize she was up there.
Kevin's probably still mad at us.
The last person should be low.
Reallocating my assets. Time for the enemy
Good job! Good shit. Oh my
He's
god.
probably, fuck these noobs.
I know.
in the red.
That's okay.
Oh damn, I went 10 and 6.
I need to get good at playing broker.
Match complete.
I understand why everybody changes Lancers, but I like mine.
Oh, I have to play Pathogen.
Oh my god, I'm gold 4.
Yippee.
Oh my god, I'm gold 4.
I usually main Pathogen, but I'm good. I'm good.
I can play someone else.
No, I main wild style too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gold 3.
They just don't
the
have
world
that many.
chat is turning into a smut book right now.
Hell yeah.
What is happening?
Deploying to mission. You signed the waiver.
And another one.
Right?
One more.
They don't have enough support characters and it pisses me off.
You technically only have 2, right? Aura and Pathogen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they need more than that.
Yeah.
I just feel so uncomfortable, like, playing something else. Playing a different Lancer.
Countdown commencing. Get ready
match
to
game.
ramble. Oh, wow, that is one big
I was
damn
doing
damn.
That is one big damn. Milking Mary? I know they're about to go wild.
Hell yeah.
Please be a sniper. It's always the snipers with the weird names.
Ooh, I think they got a diamond or a platinum on their team.
Yeah.
May the cards be ever in
No.
your favor. A relic is in play. May it tip the game in your favor. And now, your world changes.
Come on, go.
As long as we don't have to talk.
What is theirs? What's
Hope you
Roger
don't.
Roger?
Don't worry.
That just means they get like AI.
Let's put on a
Oh, they get extra teammates.
If I get killed by AI, I'm gone.
I'm done. Streaming career is over. I am on A and everybody's on
already.
Fine, I'll come there.
My god. Yep, they're on A. Woo!
I'll go.
Oh!
You just
I'm dead.
Did all of them? Oh, apparently I just killed
I
somebody.
saw 2 or 3. 3. There's 3 over there. They're in A main.
Shit. Oh, you bitch.
Haggy, you're stressing me out.
How am I stressing you
I'm not
out?
stressed out anymore. It's okay.
Help me. I'm scared.
Help me, I'm scared.
I got double kill.
Yeah, they're all in there. Everybody's in there. In A. Defuse it. Defuse it.
Go for it. Somebody go for it.
Holy shit.
Just start. They'll got you.
Chomper. Fuck.
Oh! Damn. So close. You guys did good though.
Is that the person that's diamond or something?
Probably.
I died to some bullshit.
Fucking Chomper got me, dude.
What's funny is I died to the AI. Take my points, I don't care.
Yep.
Use
Same.
them though. Use them.
And now,
thank you.
Your world changes.
More than that? Oh wait, no, we don't have any.
Maybe we have 3 in total.
You didn't give him yours, did you?
Yeah, no, they don't get to touch mine.
Oh, they don't
They're
get to
mine.
touch yours.
No, fuck no.
I don't care. It's too big of a responsibility.
I've worked hard for those.
Sorry for his money, so you better
For the
treat
more
him
elaborate
right.
taxes, I don't like that.
Looks like a good place to rematerialize.
Enemy Lancer at.
Enemy spotted at.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Oh my god.
They're up there.
I'm not gonna make
Yep,
it
they're
there.
down.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my god. Oh my god.
Must have been your
Oh! The Zephyr got me.
I got 2 of them.
It'd be your own. Sorry.
Oh my god. Hate Zephyr.
Yeah. They got lucky on that shot.
Let's get some cards in here.
They got lucky.
Whoa, cool card.
I'm still laughing at Egg. You said, fuck no, they're not getting my points.
Who? Me?
It's not very team player of you, Haggy.
They fucking cry about it.
We'll have to order a new pair.
I finally found out how to activate this lift.
How do you? I've never figured it out.
F.
Yeah, you just walk up to it and click F.
Oh.
You're gold 4 and you don't know this? I'm holy shit.
I've never used the lift. Are they
There's
down
quite
there?
a lot of people over there. Yeah. Quite a few.
Oh yeah, they're there. Oh, he's there.
The hell was that? Do it, I don't care.
Enemy Lancer at.
No B. I decided to go there.
You bitch. She's right behind the wall. Please.
There's just one enemy left.
Get him, get him.
Oh my god,
Yes.
these people are brain dead.
All right, time to draw your shard cards.
Melee rod.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
IP theft.
Yeah.
Is there anything cards can't do?
I want my points back.
Give me my points back.
A shard card switched sides.
Okay.
Oh, we're attacking.
What the fuck just happened?
We're attacking
Go
you.
ahead.
They
What?
played a card that like Uno reverse. We're attacking now instead of defending.
That's dumb.
Charlie has the
love
converter.
attacking.
Still can't believe you is how you inspect weapons.
Looks like a good place to rematerialize.
Oh my god, you guys are just running in there, aren't you? I like that it leaves imprints of people. Oh, they got me.
Damn it.
Oh.
Oh. There's.
Turns out.
Okay, that's.
Oh, I forgot. Lock the fuck in.
Lock in, I'm uncrossing my legs.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Another perfectly executed.
Okay.
Switch sides. Well, next round.
Can I have my gun? Anybody?
Yeah, you have it.
Thank you so much.
New rules.
I'm taking it back.
I hope you like. It's a whole new world out there, babies.
Why do we need that?
I don't.
We're not gonna be airborne.
Oh, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Who? Me? Guess.
Maybe they're trying to learn the points.
My favorite.
Maybe they can lick my.
Why are they trying to learn
nutsack.
the shit in ranked?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be a nice person.
I'm not. Call him a fucking idiot.
I don't do that.
Might as well kill.
I'm too nice. I feel
I
bad.
get toxic in PvP. You should know this by now.
Someone needs a ghost.
Oh, this poor bastard on there.
It's poor bastard. Oh! Jesus Christ,
Oh,
they jump
you
scared
too.
me.
Damn. What's that? Yeah, hit with the damn boogie bomb.
Oh no. Wow.
Nope, the drain is dry.
You got this, JoJo. Lock in.
Wait, so I can't get out?
No, you can't. If they can run over by the
Fuck.
hole, though, you can get them. But I don't know if you'll have time. Oh.
Yeah, I can get out.
Oh my god, good job. One more. Behind you.
Oh,
Damn, that was fast.
son of a bitch.
It's okay, it's okay.
Time to switch sides. Ready to draw some shard cards?
Oh man.
A relic is in play.
Group charge?
May it tip the game in your
No,
favor.
you can get my fucking points.
Oh, I bet that card will be amazing.
This one?
Oh, we're not gonna have enough.
Aw.
It was just 3.
We got this. Let's get out there.
Power failure. What the hell is that card?
Power. When did they have new shard cards?
I don't know, but it seems right up your alley. It's a rat.
It is a rat. I'm the rattiest of all the rats.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a beacon. That's my knife.
Oh my god.
Someone just get fucked up over here.
Sounded like it.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that was a mirage.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can see either.
Good double click.
I need a team of me.
Oh, no, you bitch.
Murders of
Hope that helps.
Got it. Yeah, good job.
I don't like invisible lady. She scares me.
I love her.
This one.
Fact, huh?
Oh, that's the case.
The
I'm
more
just gonna.
points invested, the better this card will be.
Oh hell yeah. We're gonna be so fucking fast.
Hi,
Holy
Sal.
shit.
Where have you been, sweet girl? How are you? I love you, and I think you're amazing and wonderful and perfect. And you have the best anime boobs I've ever seen.
Hell yeah. What are you talking about?
I've seen Cell's nudes.
Oh.
Best VTuber boobs ever. Just throwing that out there.
I didn't want to pay.
Oh no, I got it for free. She sent it straight to my Discord inbox.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. I'm being dead serious, actually. It pays to be friends with her.
I was friends with her. Wow.
She loves me more. God damn. Fast as fuck, boy. Woo!
There's a trap, brother.
Yeah?
Yep.
Here I am.
I hate that fucking big guy.
Oh. Zephyr over on A.
Zephyr's dead.
Oh,
Jojo.
I didn't know it was planted.
Oh my god.
Good job, Jojo.
I killed that bitch.
Hell yeah. She did
After
it.
you so much, yes I did. There's more. Oh, there's more.
Jesse's stream just went down.
Oh no.
Again? She's probably fucking with her hotkeys again.
I love that woman. That's my best friend.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy a rock. As long as we don't have to talk. Yeah, see, Sel even said in chat. She said there's more. I just adore you and Jesse and everybody. You cannot say it loud enough.
Come
Sel,
on,
I love
Sel.
you so much. Actually, I'm not gonna get all mushy gushy. I'm just super blessed that you guys are my friends, and I love you guys very, very, very much. Very much. I'm so thankful I know all of you.
I don't know how I wanted. Holy shit. How I wanted up here.
Because Jojo has murder. There's some on A.
Uh-oh.
You don't? Who's playing? Oh wait, is it? Who are you playing?
Charlie.
Oh, you're
There's
wild
somebody.
style.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you had the Lancer that Charlie has.
Wow. I hate when people step in front of me when I'm shooting something.
Remove this myself?
Damn.
Oh my god!
Really? Really?
Holy shit, it came out of nowhere. Thank you for being my friend and not being shitty. I would never be shitty to you, Sel. Who do I have to fight? Who was shitty to you, Sel?
Did you?
Nope, Zephyr. Ooh, we fell through the map.
You're just a little.
Can't wait to use these. Phasing out.
Sel, I'm gonna message you. I hope nobody's being shitty to you.
Are we?
Not Sel.
Time to draw your shard cards.
Ooh, vampire.
Oh, this is gonna suck. I'm doing it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for the
You know, it's just wild what these cards do. You didn't like that card? Whatever. Here's a new one.
Who? Me? Yes.
Match point. You could lose this.
Here's all faded and old.
Oh, it's match point. Anyone lost. Man.
Nah. We got this.
No.
Look at my scythe. That scythe.
Easy money.
Look on it.
We gotta get 3. What'd you say to me? Oh, I like your scythe.
This'll make a pretty splash. They're gonna be my canvas. This color, don't get hurt. Stay in your little bubble. I hope they're not wearing white. Mark, we're going here.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, it's about to pop off.
Converter planted. This spot is mine.
Oh,
Using out.
sorry about that.
Here it comes.
Side A. Great charge. Back to it, I guess.
Oh my god.
They use that fucking skill of closing in.
Oh my god, thank
Bitch.
god. Thank god, thank god, Jojo, thank god, good job.
I don't want to win this.
I want to win this
I
so
really
bad.
don't. I don't. We're gonna get put in third.
Why?
Stand up.
Oh my god.
Fact, huh?
Everybody dance now?
That's a neat couple of cards.
Oh yeah,
What?
the boogie bomb.
Redrawn
That's what I got hit
cards,
with.
redrawn opportunities.
I've never seen it
It's
like
a whole
happen.
new world out
I've never
there,
used-
babies.
It sucks.
Let's make this quick.
It sucks.
Yeah.
We won. Can I go home yet?
It's a vitality staff.
Is that healing? At our base? Spawn? Yeah, healing.
Oh, I got it. I didn't
Come back
mean
and
to take
activate
it.
it.
Looks like a good place to rematerialize.
They need some color.
Enemy spotted at middle.
Right up on mid. Be careful.
shit.
Yep, you just about got.
Nah, they suck.
The only way to travel.
Oh fuck! Damn it! No! One more.
Fucking did that. I should have fucking. Oh.
I don't want to see me die, please.
MVP.
And that's the match.
Oh, scavenger. Okay, I'll take that, I guess. I had a protection card, thank you.
Lucky.
It only took 1 reputation point away from him.
It took 2 from me.
Ugh. My god.
Go, go, go! Hooah! Taking down the start.
Oh, we're getting matches fast tonight. Jesus.
Now,
That's the
find
fuck,
the
boy.
sand.
I'm
Let
okay
me
with
check my
that.
stats.
Let's go.
Okay, they have a pathogen on their team.
Hmm?
You got competition.
I'm better.
I'm better.
What is? You know, it's just wild what these cards do.
You don't have any
Good job.
I gotta
points.
piss.
As long as we don't have to talk.
Okay, this is my last match. And then
At least my fur reflects sunlight.
Thought you're like 3 hours behind.
Yeah. It's 11:30, right? Yeah, it's 11:30.
Oh no, you're an hour ahead.
Well, let me die.
Oh, am I an hour ahead of you?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I didn't mute myself. Did you hear me pee?
No.
Okay, good.
This color will make them look good and feel good. Don't get hurt.
Beacon. That's my knife.
Somebody on B.
There be.
Yep. They planted.
Converter activated. B. Be short.
Oh my god. I got exploded.
Mama's got a brand new Army of one. That's your team.
No.
No. You tried. You tried.
The next round at least.
Actually, I'm gonna use that one. Hot potato.
Is there anything cards can't do?
Ooh.
That's a neat couple of cards you got there. What is that thing anyway? Let's make this quick.
Well, at least we got hot potato.
Are you ready for some heavy weather?
I cannot be held.
Oh! Where did they kill me from?
Why'd I do that?
Actually, they killed both of us at the same time. I don't understand how they did that. Oh my god, Hagee.
That was a goddamn firing squad.
Oh, heads up! Be short. I see.
Yeah, get him in a row.
Be short.
Simplicity.
Fish in a barrel.
Heavy fog on today's weather report.
Converter planted.
Anyone in my way's gonna get hurt. That's despite popular belief, clouds do not taste like cotton candy. I see an exit.
Shit.
Oh no.
Oh.
Time to travel where they cannot follow. Intelligent travel.
Oh my god.
I don't like that iPod person.
Why does he have a horse head?
Draw some sharp cards.
Demolition extension.
Oh, so yeah. Yeah, we need that. I want this too.
You double the cards, double the fun.
I'm using the shotgun. Are they ever gonna go A?
Oh no.
Start that
Come
countdown,
on.
chat. I'll be back when I care.
There are two of them down there, three of them down there actually.
Oh my god.
Damn! Holy shit, there are four of them there.
There's 4 mid. Nope, I'm done for him.
Be shocked.
Damn.
My God.
Sad.
Oh my God.
Oh.
No, you're still cool in my book. That was good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's up.
Mendo, it's up to you. You don't have a good
You got
track
this,
record.
buddy. You got it.
Look at JoJo being positive and kind in a shooter game.
Time is running out the door
He
in 30
dies.
seconds.
Trash on him.
I see an
I'm gonna do it.
defense spawn point.
I should be like, fuck you.
Honestly, yes.
I see
Oh
Oh
no.
my God. Oh my God.
Do it, do it.
Gotta stop
Oh
him.
my
His
God.
abilities.
No, 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 no.
Please call him a dumbass.
No. What is wrong with you guys?
He just said I'm
Please.
doing too much.
No shit.
Oh, I bet that card will be double the cards, double the fun. You guys don't settle for the way things are, do ya? Cool relic, but creepy.
We absolutely love Cell. I adore Cell. I'm so thankful that Jessie introduced me to her.
Sand is
Oh yeah, Cell's amazing.
Actually, I adore Cell so much. Wonderful person.
She's my favorite streamer.
I have a lot of favorites. I know you're just saying that to try to bait me. I know you. It's not gonna work. We don't do jealousy in this household. We don't do competition. We do community.
Playing rank.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're coming. They're coming y'all's way.
God, yeah, I can hear him. Oh my God.
This way.
Slut.
Oh,
This way.
virtually bricked. Me.
Oh, oh my god, they're coming from everywhere.
Oh my God, I don't even know where to go. Don't call me small dick Onyx.
You off your feet?
Alright, I'm big dick Onyx.
Oh fuck.
Are you fucking kidding me? Bruh.
I'd rather we go left. Enemy spotted at site B.
Oh no! Damn it.
He said oof.
Oof, oof.
I can't use my shotgun anymore, damn it.
Amazing.
Sniper.
2 cards are better than 1. I mean, obviously.
Who? Me? Yes. My favorite thing about pyramids is they look down on people.
Oh yeah, no, okay.
Start that countdown, chat.
Looks like a good place to rematerialize.
There's one over there at least. 2. Okay,
Ooh,
2.
See
yeah.
an enemy at A short.
They're coming around that way too though.
Enemy Lancer.
Ah!
I shot her, the fuck?
Site A.
Oh my God, I hear them.
I see an enemy.
They're all at A.
Yeah,
Inverter planted. Ooh, what cards will
I'm trying to figure out where to go.
They should be right down there.
Enemy.
Damn it.
Nice. Time to switch sides.
You're saying there's still a chance?
We've got amazing cards for you to buy. They made me say that. What is that thing anyway?
Blaming this on the facts.
Oh my god, please do this one. Me and Hagee are gonna go off.
Oh shit. Alright, let me get my vector.
As long as we don't have to talk.
Guys, I have to go AFK for this one. I'm so sorry.
You cannot do this.
That's cool.
I get it. Moving is overrated.
Time to cure our enemies of life. Prospective hostat.
Ooh.
Sighté.
Miss jackass.
Enemy.
Well, they got Onyx. So they're coming up from that way.
And you.
Middle.
Enemy spotted at side A.
Reloading. Pretty small now, huh?
No. Fuck!
That's okay.
I
It's
still got
alright.
MVP, I'm happy.
Match complete. Well done.
Nope, it's the perfect time for me to get off. I'm starting to feel a little sick.
Oh.
Did you drink a Red Bull?
No, I didn't. I didn't. But I also haven't eaten dinner. I need to eat dinner. When my stomach gets empty, I feel real nauseous.
Same.
So I need to get off and eat dinner. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Oh yeah.
I have hiccups.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Yep, I'm gonna go eat my cheeseburger.
Alright.
Goodbye. Oh my god, I keep hiccuping every time I try to say something.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Ow. Goodbye. Thank you for playing. Oh my god, I keep hiccuping. Love you. I keep hiccuping. Make it stop. Who is live? Wes. Ooh, Pinguinos. Scratchy. Do I want to raid tonight? I don't think I want to raid tonight. I think I'm just gonna end stream tonight, guys. I love you guys. Oh my god, please. Hold on. Because I'm going to end this for you guys. Let me find you a song. Ow. Ow. Ooh. Hey, is your friend live? Because I was thinking about raiding out, but then I was like, maybe I won't. But if your friend is live... Oh my god, I still have the hiccups. Thank you for the 150 bits, Hagee. I appreciate it. Oh my god, I still have the fucking hiccups. Damn it. Okay, I'll keep, message me. Actually, I already have the message from you. Let me pause this. I have her name, so I'm gonna keep, every time I raid out, I'm gonna keep looking. I'm so sorry, I have the fucking hiccups. Every time I raid out, I'm gonna keep, looking for her. That way I can raid her. Thank you so much for the bits, though. I appreciate it. Ow. Scared to fight. Oh my god. My devil horns are too close. Thank you for playing again tonight. It was really fun. I love playing frag with you. I'm trying to make sure these are these straight? Men uninformed, smug wannabes, when you've been warned. Get nerve. These freaking hiccups won't go away. Face was turning red. Oh. Let's go see what Chessie's doing real quick before we end stream. We'll watch her for a minute. Oh my god. I left my water in the other room. This meeting's over. Let's pause this. Ow. Let's pause this. And let's do... I hate the hiccups. They hurt so bad. They hurt me. Ow. Please, stop. What is that called? Google Chrome. Okay. Let's see what Chessie's doing. Oh my god, I remember this fight. It sucked. Might as well raid out to Jessie. Don't you guys think? Since we're watching her anyways. Ow. The cheese! The cheesy! This game, I love Alice Madness Returns so much. I love this game. But it was very repetitive. It was very, very long. It had like all the same boss fights. Like it got old fast. But I love where they were going with it. I'm so excited for American McGee's new game coming out. I'm playing it as soon as it's out. As soon as it's out, I'm playing the new game. And we are going to raid out to Jessie soon. Might as well let her babysit the community. She is the mama of it.
It was annoying, but once you clear through all of the little guys first, and like if you just let yourself take a couple hits and you hit the
She is
dodge button,
echoing.
like a ton, you're pretty
She's
good.
echoing. I have to know she's echoing.
Hi, Onyx. I love you.
I love you.
I know you're still streaming.
Ow. Where are half of them? Oh, there. We're raiding in 1 minute, guys. Here, I'll put the raid message in chat if you want to copy it. Oh, these fucking hiccups need to go away. I want to eat my cheeseburger and I want to go to sleep. Ow. Okay, we're rating in 30 seconds, guys. Thank you guys for being here and for watching. Thank you for the bits. I am so sorry. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the subs and the resubs. I love you guys so much. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. I shall see you tomorrow, I think, for some more Lost in Random. And maybe some more frag if I get tired of Lost in Random. I want to start playing frag. Good night, guys.